Biden now says they won't enforce the TikTok ban on January 19th. They're leaving it up to Donald Trump to figure it out. Our position on this has been clear. TikTok should continue to operate under American ownership. It will be up to the next next administration to implement. The law states the president can grant a one-time extension, delaying the ban for up to 90 days under 3 specific conditions. TikTok must show it's on a path of executing a divestiture from its Chinese owner, ByteDance. There must be evidence of significant progress towards a sale, must be sealed with relevant legal binding agreements. Meanwhile, the Justice Department can impose fines up to $5,000 per user on companies like Google and Apple if they continue hosting the app after the ban takes effect. Have you seen the cultural exchanges happening on Red Note? Thoughts? I'm sorry. I'm too much of a foreigner, I think. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, the way that Twitter and well-intentioned people treat Chinese people like they're a fucking alien species is like kind of weirded me out as someone from Turkey. It's just me. I'm alone on this. I'm happy. I'm happy that Americans are finally realizing that Chinese people are also human beings. Crazy because there's so many fucking Chinese people in America. But like, I think I'm too much of a first generation immigrant to cherish the fun that Americans are having, to celebrate it in the same way. It just kind of makes me feel weird with the way that like everyone's being normal and it's great, but it just like shocks me that this needed to happen for so many people. Holy shit. You're so cringe, Hasan. I mean, yeah, I'm woke of the day. It's wild how brain broken Americans are that they had to like literally see Chinese people where they're at to be like, oh wow, they're human.
Number 1 and the Delta IV Heavy. The process that this particular rocket uses to put these 20-ton payloads into their orbital path is pretty unique and very controversial. So once the rocket clears Earth's atmosphere, which happens at about 100 kilometers in altitude, those 4 side boosters will drop off, but the core booster engine will continue to burn. A typical rocket will have a full stage separation at this point, where the entire lower section of the rocket will detach and fall back down to Earth, where it usually splashes into the ocean. And again, on a typical rocket, a second stage engine will then fire up to propel what's left of the rocket and the payload into the orbital insertion. The Long March 5B doesn't do that. After the 4 side boosters drop off, the rocket stays whole and the core booster engines propel the module all the way to its orbital insertion point before finally separating. That means the majority of the rocket structure is now in orbit, so it won't just fall straight back down into the ocean. But it's not in a stable orbit either, so it won't stay up there for too long.
Are you sure that post is trustworthy? Yeah. They talked about it earlier today. I don't know where it is. I'm sure we have it in our coverage. I know I clicked on a link somewhere around here. I thought I had it. Yeah, the way the Chinese people don't believe that America is, and they're asking if it's propaganda. Someone on Red Note asked if it's true that minimum wage hasn't been increased in 16 years or if it was just their government's propaganda. I don't know if these are real, by the way. Someone in their comments of Red Note asked me if we were really had to pay for an ambulance in America, if it was just their government's propaganda. I don't, maybe. American student talked to a Chinese student and started crying.
In China, and their law $98 per year, which just makes me feel so angry because I have like $450,000 in debt just to go to law school. And I'm explaining this extremely fucking bonkers system that we have. And I'm like, this is a slave contract because I'll never be able to pay back these loans.
I mean, yeah, that's the whole point. I'm glad that people are recognizing this reality. I think it's hard for you guys to comprehend where I'm coming from with this if you've grown up in America your whole lives, okay? Or if you're an American originally and did not grow up in a different country. Because it's a reminder that like no matter how woke someone is, no matter how open-minded someone is, they still like literally think you're kind of an alien if you're not raised on US soil, you know, with that real American education. But yeah, I mean, this is like what I actively try to communicate to people that will listen here on a daily basis, which is that, yeah, these people are just like normal people. And also they don't live in this like insane insane censorious shithole or something.
It's going to circle the Earth for a few days as it slowly loses altitude and gets pulled back into the atmosphere. Now, these are just too big to vaporize like a regular satellite. It doesn't stay whole, but chunks are going to make it all the way down to the surface of the Earth. And that's why this particular Long March 5B booster stage broke up over the Indian Ocean and rained down scrap metal over the islands of Indonesia. Anyway,
the Red Note discourse has done a lot to teach people that China isn't this underdeveloped third world country. I mean, Even if a country was an underdeveloped third world country, the people in it are still the same as you and I, you know? Found out where Joe Rogan gets his news from.
Setting fires, and he had a UN debit card.
What?
And he had a bunch. I'll send it to Jamie. The guy that got arrested for.
No.
I'll tell you which fire it was.
No.
But he got arrested. He had a UN card. I'll tell you exactly.
This kind of tragedy brings out the best in people and the worst in people.
Why is this guy on Joe Rogan still? Like, even, oh my God. Oh my God. Let's see.
The one thing it does in these communities, it brings all these people together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my buddy started to cry because I was on the phone with him. He lost everything, right? And they're going to come stay with us. And he said, when I was on the phone, these people dropped by and dropped off clothes for them. And he's got a lot of money. And he started to cry, man. He was like, I can't tell you how many people have reached out.
He had 5 cell phones and a United Nations prepaid debit card.
What is a United Nations prepaid debit card, man?
I'm a Gen Z stan.
What is a United Nations prepaid debit card?
I'm skeptical. Is this
Of course you are.
conspiracy?
You're always skeptical.
Is this
You son of
conspiracy?
a
I just don't
bitch.
want to be played.
No, I think the New York Post did a thing about it.
You know what I mean, though? I don't want to be played. I don't know what's true
Maybe
anymore.
the New York Post didn't post that he had the debit card.
Yeah, I don't know what's true.
Brian Callen, the cynical rapist. The skeptical rapist.
Getting us
anymore.
from the
See?
Texas Patriot Twitter
See?
account.
You see? I told you. I'm already like, I don't know.
They said that the New York Post has edited the info out of their article.
Thank you.
Why? Because it's not true.
Spreading rumors, Joe
Texas
Rogan.
Patriot account said that.
Oh, so then.
Look at the
You
content.
got played.
Maybe not. Maybe the New York Post
Oh my God, Joe. Give it up, dude.
are a bunch of pussies and a bunch of libtards.
The New York Post is very conservative.
They are kinda. Yeah. Yeah.
Rocking the Muhammad Ali shirt with the American flag, too. That's what makes it even funnier. UN refugee debit card. So it was a Syrian refugee. There was a quote that has to change with the times where it goes, teach the poorest white man he's better than the richest black man and he won't notice if you pick his pockets. That was Lyndon B. Johnson who said that. He'll open up his pockets for them. Racist MAGA guy meets Chinese Uyghur.
My man knows some Chinese.
马是
Mashi. Doesn't make sense.
horseshit.
Oh, mashi. It's horseshit in English, but we don't say mashi.
Nobody says it, but I say it. And by the way,
Yeah.
we're talking
I doubt. Is this a real MAGA guy?
about the second coming of Christ. You're a white boy,
I'm not a white
so
boy.
you're white.
I'm not. I'm Chinese. Don't you know that China has never been a homogenous country? We have a lot of different ethnic groups.
Bro, I want you to go to the bathroom right now. I want you to take a look at the mirror. I want you to say, I'm not a white boy.
I'm not a white boy. I'm not.
For fucking real.
Yeah, for fucking real. I belong to the ethnic group called Uyghur. You probably heard of that.
Yeah. Wow. Wait, why is chat not correcting him for saying Uyghur like they do every time I say it? There's always a motherfucker in the chat being like, Hasan. I'll have you know it's called Uyghurs, not Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he has a Kerry Lake plate behind him. He is a MAGA guy. Never mind.
Oh, Xinjiang?
Yeah, Xinjiang.
It's funny because I heard about Xinjiang and the Uyghur concentration camps, but then I talked to a recent Chinese and they were like from Xinjiang.
Yeah.
And that Chinese person told me, no, that's bullshit.
Because that is bullshit. I'm telling you that too.
That's crazy.
That is all fucking propaganda.
I'm almost believing that, bro.
You should
At this
believe it.
point, you're from the north of Chinese and you're from South China.
Yeah.
They fucking racist against each other.
It just few people does that shit. Because you know everywhere has some bad people. Mostly people are good. People are kind to each other. It's not as many racism as America does.
We have more minority. Well, we got every fucking ethnicity. We are the least racist country on the planet.
You believe that?
I believe that 100%. You could be fucking Jew. Jews, by the way. Sorry. You could be Chinese. You could be black, white, gay, straight, trans, whatever, dude. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Low key, we kind of are the least racist. Bro, what are you saying? How delusional can one be to say America's the least racist country on the planet? Like, that is insane. Our one existing manufacturing industry is literally dealing weapons of war. Where do you think those weapons of war are used? Like, I'm not even talking about chattel slavery. and the continuation of the practice, and then basically legalizing a form of chattel slavery by utilizing the criminal justice system. I'm talking like also in terms of foreign policy. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think America is low-key the least racist.
I was fucking married to a Chinese. Sing chong the ping pong bing bong.
Fuck, stop saying that, man. Stop
Sing
saying that.
song. Sing song? No, don't sing song. Play song.
Stop that shit.
It's a joke, bro.
I'm getting offense right now. That is
You're
fucking...
a fucking white piece of
That is
shit, bro.
Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm Chinese, 100%.
You're fucking white as fuck, bro.
Come on, you know nothing about China, man.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Can I play you some Chinese music?
Holy shit, cello?
That was unexpected. I'm not gonna lie. That was unexpected. That's crazy. Oh my God, that's crazy. Dude, what is going on, man? We got cultured racists now? What's happening? Is this a bit? Like, what the hell?
You can't even do that shit? I didn't expect that at all.
Oh, I know. That's why I always leave it towards like the end, because people be like, "Oh my God, he's a racist. He got a fucking MAGA hat. Oh my God, he fucking must be anti-Chinese." Nah, dude. I fucking love Chinese culture. Most of my people.
Yeah.
My people, white people.
Yeah.
Fucking because you're fucking Chinese, right?
Yeah, I'm Chinese.
Most of my
Oh, we need to do lobotomies. Like we actually need to do lobotomies like ASAP. No, he just straight up racist as hell. But also, weirdly enough, whip up the cello. Like, you said fund the arts and look what happened. I didn't think it was gonna be like that, dude.
we fucking agree, bro. Like, it's not the Chinese people that we're against, bro.
What the hell is going on, man? It's an upright bass, not a cello. Double bass, not a cello. My bad, man. This doesn't seem like a bit, no.
I think I gotta say it. I love Gen Z right now. They're just feisty. They're very feisty right now. And to see the way they are reacting to people trying to censor their speech, this is incredible. This is amazing. And you're going to have to park aside your feelings about China. Obviously, I agree with the fact that China is a threat, but I also kind of think America and our deep state and the CIA is the bigger threat. The homeland threat seems a little bit bigger, the domestic threat, than the foreign threat at this moment. Okay, so what am I speaking about? So there is, let me just show you this headline.
Dude, Candace Owens is such a farmer, dude. It's crazy. She's such a goddamn farmer, dude. Are we right wing now? Wait, what? No, she just knows. She just knows what's popular. This is her whole shtick. She'll sometimes take like not the old out of touch conservative position on issues that pertain to like pop culture to consistently elevate her status. And then obviously when push comes to shove, she'll do a documentary about how George Floyd deserved to be murdered and wasn't murdered at all, actually killed himself. I hate these people.
On NBC, Chinese TikTok alternative Red Note tops app charts ahead of potential TikTok ban. Okay, so just to be clear, the #1 most downloaded app right now in the App Store is Red Note. Red Note. It's in Mandarin. They can't even read it, and they're all downloading it. So I'm going to give you the backstory of the TikTok ban. Initially, when Trump got into office, he essentially was very tough on China. And in 2020, he said, we've got to do something about China. They're stealing all of our data. You know, he was doing the America first. We're also going to be tough on tariffs, et cetera, et cetera. And in August of 2020, he tried to ban TikTok via executive order. And it didn't work. There was tons of resistance, people saying that it would be a violation of free speech. This can't happen, blah, 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 blah. Then, of course, October 7th happened, and TikTok was
Nobody knows who she is in chat? Wait, really? People in this community are not familiar with Candace Owens? Clandis Owens? The Clandis Owens? You must know. She's fallen off? No, she hasn't fallen off. She's fallen on, chat. Are you kidding me? Even after she left the Daily Wire, she's been popping off. You're wrong.
incredibly pro-Palestine, okay, to the point that they began censoring the word Palestine, and the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is really just the Anti-Free Speech League, and the Smear and the Slander League, decided that they needed to now step in. Forget you thinking your president has power. We, the ADL, our lobby, AIPAC, we're going to get this done now because we don't like that Gen Z is anti-Israel.
That's the anti-Semite of the year, Candace Owens, who unironically is anti-Semitic. Like, she actually is anti-Semitic.
And then the kids got smart and started using
She's anti-Israel too, but she's also
because they couldn't
anti-Semitic.
say Palestine or get any views, and things were getting banned. Started using watermelon signs. Okay. But then very quickly, Congress passed an act. Like I said, forget the president in 2020. They were like, oh, yes, no, TikTok must immediately be banned. Now we got to get rid of this or it must sell. And that date is now coming up. And so the TikTokers are going, we are not with this. You are not going to censor our speech. We are not okay with you selling it to somebody that's going to censor our speech. And so what they have started doing
is Candace pro-Palestine? Yeah. I mean, she's more anti-Israel than she is, I would say, pro-Palestine. She's anti-Israel.
Is downloading Red Note. And basically, this is just China's TikTok. And it's really funny to just look through what they are saying here, because there is something, and speaking to this generational divide, the younger kids don't really care when you tell them that their data is being stolen, because basically they assume that their data is being stolen one way or the other. It's from the CIA, it's from this person. They don't have trust in our government, because our government has done really crappy things as well. And they also can't afford groceries. So yeah, whether or not China is stealing their data isn't a priority in their lives. This is one person. It says TikTok, me arriving to China.
Hello? Hello guys, this is your Chinese spy speaking. I want to post this video before it's too late. I guess we are not going to see each other again in the future. That's why I have
good take for once. Nah, she just, as long as you don't listen to all the stuff that she says. I mean, it's the Dan Bilzerian phenomenon, where it's like you hear Dan Bilzerian in 30-second increments and you're like, damn, this guy's based. And then you hear him on the 32nd second and you go, oh my God, he is in the most anti-Semitic man who ever existed. It's the same with like Candace Owens. This is a person who is literally, this is a person who straight up said Hitler was just trying to make make Germany great. Candace Owens famously said Hitler is just trying to make Germany great. Okay? And that it was actually Hitler's globalist policies that was a problem when he started to, invade other countries. That was the issue. Like, that's her criticism of Hitler.
Something to say. It is a great honor to spy on you for the last few years. I wish you all have a great life in the future. Now, what I will never forgive nor forget is also the fact that after she said Hitler just wanted to make Germany great, it was the globalism of Hitler that she has an issue with. The Daily Wire hired her and only fired her because not only was she anti-Semitic, which they knew when they hired her, but she was also anti-Israel. And that was a bridge too far. So make no mistake, whenever Ben Shapiro talks about Candace Owens, always remember that he knew that Candace Owens was a racist anti-Semite. He just didn't like that Candace Owens was a racist anti-Semite who happened to be anti-Israel. Is something personal. Laura from California, you shouldn't drink that much Coca-Cola. It's bad for your health. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
It's just, people are just mocking this. Like, I guess we're not going to inspire you here. I'm very sorry. Come on. Gen Z is funny, and it's true. They're going to be playing whack-a-mole for a very long time because this is America, okay?
You are wrong. She's nowhere near Dan Bilzerian. Are you insane? You are wrong. Watch her content before you make assumptions, lol. I've been familiar with Candace Owens' game since before you were in your father's ballsack chatter. The fuck are you talking about? You are wrong. Trying to educate me on Candace Owens. Like, this is my forte. This is the one thing that I am absolutely the most knowledgeable on. I've been in the trenches. Go do a little bit of research and come back to me. You're going to feel a little embarrassed, I think. Can't believe Candace got some glazers in the chat. It makes sense, though. She is just as wrong as you are. Wait, what? Who is wrong? Now we got an anti-Candace, anti-Hasan chatter. Yeah. Candace Owens, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine.
Said it would have been okay if Adolf Hitler wanted to keep his activities to Germany while speaking.
Candace Owens started off as a pro-Obama blogger and was deeply anti-Trump. Candace Owens in high school actually won a lawsuit against the Connecticut Board of Education because she was victim to anti-black racist hate crimes that caused her to develop an eating disorder.
Candace Owens then, under the Trump administration, realized there was a lot more money to be made grifting to Trump rather than against Donald Trump. And she very quickly pivoted and basically put a black face on white supremacy. For the most part, her job was to say some of the most unhinged, anti-black things you've ever heard, while also being a black woman. Throughout that process, she also started grifting in like multiple different directions, sometimes portraying herself as a black separatist, not dissimilar to Clarence Thomas, okay? While in other instances, still maintaining a healthy dose of white supremacist sentiment, okay? I mean, she was a Daily Wire employee. She spent most of her time at Daily Wire shitting on George Floyd, shitting on Black Lives Matter, shitting on all black issues. She also was one of the most formative, one of the most influential people that brainwashed Kanye West, by the way. Not to say that Kanye West is a child or anything, but it's obvious that he was incredibly mentally vulnerable. And Candace Owens played a formative role in Kanye West becoming an anti-Semitic psycho. Much like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, Candace Owens is a massive Thomas Sowell fan and, spends most of her time still defending some of the craziest right-wing conspiracies. Why is she anti-Semitic? I don't know, man. Why is she anti-Semitic? Look at the freaking article headline. Like, look, it's in front of you, man. Words on screen. What do they mean? Here is Candace Owens being asked by Representative Ted Lieu, playing a recording of Candace Owens saying these words.
Mr. Chair, in congressional hearings, the minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Hershinoff. Ms. Owens said, quote, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine.
Chad about to be like, actually, was Hitler anti-Semitic? Like, what's next, Hasan? First you say Candace Owens is anti-Semitic. Now you're saying Hitler's anti-Semitic? Oh, okay. Like, what do you think making Germany great means in that situation? He was literally condemning Hitler in that quote? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, okay. How about if someone were to say, honestly, everything that Hitler did was fine, except for the fact that he was vegetarian. Would you consider that to be a sufficient condemnation of Adolf Hitler? Or do you think that that is actually a very silly way to approach the subject matter? Do you not think that right-wingers exist? All conservatives are just Russian trolls and all conservative personalities are just grifters? No, I do believe that right-wingers exist. Matt Walsh is a right-winger. Ben Shapiro is a real right-winger. Okay? Candace Owens, on the other hand, is someone who was trying to make money. I'm sure she's become more of a real right-winger in this process, in this time frame. Listen to what she said at the end. She said that if he wanted to force everyone to be German and speak German, etc. Dude, you're saying it's okay that Hitler was interested in mutilating and massacring German Jews. Just don't touch the Polish Jews. Do you understand? That argument is fucking idiotic. What a stupid argument, dude. No, it's all right if Hitler was just going to do mass deportation of German Jews. After all, they deserve it. But the Polish Jews didn't? Is that what the argument is? What's going on right now? What are you talking about? What do you think Hitler making Germany great again was? Nah, that's not what I or anyone else is saying. Lol, don't start. Okay, you're oblivious to this reality, but that is what you're defending. And also, I gave you the examples as to why I think Candace Owens is a grifter, because she was an aggressive anti-Trump, pro-Obama blogger, okay? She made that pivot almost overnight. So explain to me why you think it's okay for Hitler to do Hitler Nazi policies as long as he kept it into Nazi Germany, as long as he just like maintained the Hitler policies inside of Nazi Germany. Candace, as a teenager, was involved with the NAACP. I know, I talked about it already. She successfully sued the Connecticut Board of Education for money because she was victim to a hate crime that caused her to develop an eating disorder. Literally said that DC Jews were a rot in the community. Yeah, I mean, she said many different things since then. She said many different things since then about Jews in particular. Okay. Like, I'm willing to entertain the ignorance that people have because there's so much anti-Semitic propaganda out there, especially given like how much power Israel seemingly has over America when it's not the case. So like, if someone comes in here, I'm not going to immediately assume that they're like a malicious anti-Semite. I'm going to my starting point is always going to be that it's probably rooted within ignorance. Okay. Because my job is to try and, move people away from having these anti-Semitic positions. But when you come in here and you defend a person who very clearly, very deliberately, and very maliciously is trying to get people to become anti-Semitic by constantly saying it's actually Jews and Israel that controls the United States of America and not America that controls Israel, and that it doesn't matter and it has nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever and everything to do with America's material interest in the region, then yeah, I'm gonna have a more strong opinion on that. Okay, there's no reason to be charitable to Candace Owens. It's crazy how one person spamming out Elon's rocket exploding led to a 20-minute video on the Chinese space station, which then led to a chatter talking about Red Note, which then led to a Candace Owens TikTok about Red Note, which then led to Hitler. I mean, welcome to the Hasanabi broadcast. The most charitable interpretation of what Candace Owens is saying in this situation is that she's too stupid to understand what she's saying. Okay, but ultimately that doesn't change the reality that what she was trying to do in that regard was to defend nationalism on principle. Nationalism on principle is indefensible, but it's especially indefensible when you're trying to defend Hitler's nationalism. Okay, maybe she was too stupid to recognize what she was saying in that moment. Maybe she wasn't trying to say like, oh, Hitler's concentration camps or death camps for Jews inside of Germany is okay, but not in Poland. Maybe that's not what she was trying to say, if I'm going to be super charitable for no reason, because like she has since said many anti-Semitic things over and over again. Okay, but the reality of the matter is it's still a statement that she made in defense of nationalism in Germany, historic nationalism in Germany, Nazi nationalism, in an effort to justify nationalism in America. She's also the defending 2024 anti-Semite champion. Okay, stop. That doesn't really mean anything. Stop anti-Semitism is a ridiculous institution, and I will not give it credibility even if they accidentally arrive at a anti-Semitic person for once.
We do not like speech censorship, okay?
Why did Biden lie about the ceasefire, Avi? Gaza ceasefire deal reportedly formally signed. Gaza hostage deal and ceasefire officially signed in Doha, sources tell me.
You're not going to justify it or try to pretend it's by anything else we heard.
You're salty you lost, Lamau. Come on, guys. Considering that there's like actual people here that don't think Candace Owens is anti-Semitic or incredibly right-wing, it's kind of shocking to me that we're still making jokes about this. Like, please stop. Don't even fuck around, dude. There are obviously... Candace Owens has developed a massive audience both off of TikTok and off of her incredibly successful podcast. Okay, you understand that, right? Which means there are a shit ton of people who are completely oblivious to what Candace Owens' actual politics look like, possibly because her and Brett Cooper, and she's worse than Brett Cooper, if we're being real, routinely talk about culture issues like this. Okay, Meghan Markle's show postponed. Shout out to Beyonce. Jimmy Carter's funeral. Mark Zuckerberg for free speech. Justin Bieber versus Hollywood. It's always stuff like this, right? What is this? Debating destiny on Epstein? Oh, God. Did she do a video on you? I'm sure she has in the past. I think it's proof she fell off if people don't know her shit. No, dude. She fell on. Wake up. She fell on. She didn't fall off. She has a significantly larger audience than someone like myself. What are you talking about, dude? She has like the number 3 most subscribed to podcast. What the fuck are you guys talking about, dude? Wake up. Some of y'all are in such a vicious hug box that you are just oblivious to the reality. She has 3.4 million subscribers on YouTube. And since she left the Daily Wire because she got fired for anti-Semitism and, more importantly than anti-Semitism, anti-Israeli sentiment, because her anti-Semitism wasn't an issue for the Daily Wire, let's be real. Since then, she literally has launched or I think she still had a podcast at that point, an incredibly successful podcast. He quite literally is almost single-handedly responsible for Kanye West's like breakdown. Just because you don't care less and you say I could care less for that lady doesn't change the reality that she's putting up insane numbers out here. Okay, that USS Liberty video popped off with 5.5 million views. Where is it? Where? Second row? USS Liberty survivor speaks out.
All right, you guys, I'll get right into this. Hit. He went.
As a Navy vet, I've never heard of the story. 5.4 million views and no one in mainstream media or independent media is talking about this. I'm Indonesian watching this and reading. I'm 56, but my family members served in the Navy. Americans are drowning in medical debt. Candace, my dad is a retired Navy guy and Vietnam vet. Stalin was Jewish. Kabbalists are pedophiles. Candace Owens is anti-Semitic conspiracies. Tristan Tate, who features on... You know, it's ironic. These same outlets will write articles about me being fucking anti-Semitic. That's what's so stupid about the way that pro-Israeli people operate, okay? They're so fucking stupid. Pro-Israeli accounts and pro-Israeli media is so goddamn dumb where they will just like literally weaponize. They will just straight up weaponize like any kind of anti-Israeli sentiment and conflate it with anti-Semitism, not recognizing that because everybody fucking hates Israel, that people are just going to go, okay, I'm anti-Semitic then. They don't get it. It's so fucking stupid. Good job, guys. Of course, everybody fucking hates Israel. Everybody that doesn't have a weapons contract or isn't like someone who is tasked with defending the State Department's propaganda unconditionally is going to be like, yeah, this shit sucks, dude. No, I don't like the fucking baby murder machine. Good job conflating the baby murder with Judaism in an effort to seemingly defend it. American conservative commentator Candace Owens made a number of controversial and conspiratorial claims on Wednesday episode of her show, including Stalin was a Jew, Freud was a Kabbalistic pedophile, and the Germans were ethnically cleansed by the Jews after World War II. Acknowledging that idiots are hoodwinked into hating Jews via hating Israel is not a tacit agreement with said idiots. That's what people don't understand. Exactly. No, 100%. But it's also additionally frustrating that, you know, this is like such a classic and such a cynical fucking shield that people who are pro-Israel deploy so frequently that it ends up making people go, okay, well, I can see right from wrong. And if you keep telling me this is for Judaism and you keep calling out everybody who's against it anti-Semitic, then I guess I'm anti-Semitic. There's already a lot of like there's already a lot of like underlying anti-Semitic tendency that people have. So all you're doing is like solidifying their position and saying like, no, they're actually righteous for being this way and feeling this way.